Hey everyone, it's Richard Solomon with another installment of your PhD Chronicles. And I wanted to do another quick video about something that is critical and really central to the process of all tertiary education, but certainly more so to postgraduate studies, and that is citations and referencing. So let's delve into this whole idea of citations and referencing. Now, I've said many times over, certainly at the PhD level, you are doing original work, new work. And if you are doing new work, the only way you can know it's new is you have to see what other people have done. And we don't sort of come into this blank. We stand on the shoulders of giants, as Tara Brabazon from Flinders University in Australia likes to say. We stand on the shoulders of giants, those who have gone before us and those who have done research and have written. And so it is really important as we weed through literature, as we use work that might be theories written in textbooks, or however you find it, whatever the type of literature it is. And I did a video, I think it was number 10, that talked about literature and what I call the pyramid of good academic or scholarly literature. It is important that you give credit where credit is due. And that is called citing. You put citations in the literature or in the work itself, in the writing itself. Let me explain that a little further and hopefully a little bit better than I did a moment ago. So if you make a claim, you claim something to be the case, the question is, how do you know? How do you know that more ice cream sells when it's hot outside? Now, that might be true, but how do you know? You might believe that more ice cream sells when it's hot outside, but that does not make it a fact for this country, this county, this city, this group of people. It might be that you eat more ice cream when it's hot outside. Yeah? So you may have had that experience. Yeah? So you can tell that story. You may know other people who have had similar experiences. That is called anecdotal evidence. Anecdotal. You can't use that as fact. So you have to prove. How do you know? Where is this coming from? And so we live in an age where lots of people, especially on social media, they go online, they say all sorts of things about all sorts of things as if they were fact. In many cases, they are not fact. They are opinions. Do opinions belong in postgraduate studies? If you can prove them, very often, and I said I'll do another video on hypotheses later down, but very often your hypothesis or your hypotheses are based on some kind of belief, a hunch. I believe that there is a relationship between hot weather and the sale of ice cream. That's a hunch, it's a belief, but the research is to prove it. And when I say research there, the use of that word means your investigation into the actual sale of ice cream, and you have to build a methodology to do that properly, scientifically. Yes? So you can't just go and say, I know this. You have to refer to academic literature. You have to cite academic literature as to where is this coming from. So very often if you read an academic paper, not very often, always, if you read an academic paper, you will see a sentence, a paragraph, and at the end of it, you will see Solomon, 2018. You will see John, 2015. You will see Smith, 1956. It is because the writer is communicating to you that this is where these ideas came from. Now, we don't copy other people's work. You take the ideas, you put them in your own words, or your understanding of those ideas, and you put it within your work. You are creating a framework, a platform. We stand on the shoulders of giants, and we build from there with our own research. This is our own investigation, using a particular methodology, gathering data, analyzing that data, discussing that data, and forming a conclusion that may support or fail to support the hypothesis. And again, I will do a video on hypotheses later down. So, very, very important, citations. Now, you can literally quote something that someone else has said. Absolutely. You put it in quotations, and we use different referencing styles. So I use APA, American Psychological Association. That's a particular style of referencing. Your university will tell you what style you should use. It's not up to you. They will tell you what style you should use, and you use a particular referencing style that will tell you how you should, in this case, quote that information or quote that bit of information that you would have gotten from another paper, a book, whatever it is. Now, a quotation is a direct use of the exact words that were used by that author in that work. Now, in my case, once the quotation goes beyond a particular length, it goes into quotation marks and it's italicized. Yeah, or it's inset, something like that. I don't remember exactly because there's a whole editing process that has to go on. And I try to do it as I go along, but I know I'm missing things. We will come back to that and fix that. But you use quotation marks and you let the reader know, I am taking this directly from whomever it is. Why would you do that? Well, I do it when the words matter. The actual specific words that that writer would have used matter to the meaning, the spirit of what is being said. And in that case, I would use a quotation. I don't have many quotations, but I have ideas of others, and I will cite where those come from. Yeah? Very, very critical. And then, so citations, that's one, and then referencing. So the citation, it's usually, for mine, it would be the last name of the writer or the theorist, the researcher, whomever it is, and it goes, then there's a comma, and then the year, that goes in brackets. Yeah? So Smith, 2017. Thomas, 2019, etc. That's the citation. But that doesn't give us all the information. The reader, whether it is your examiners, your supervisor, or someone else reading your work in another 5 years, 3 months, whatever it is, they must know where exactly that information came from. So at the end of your document, you will have a list of references, usually in alphabetical order, that will not just say whom the researcher is or researchers are and when they would have written that work, but where you got that information. Was it a book? What was the name of the book? Was it a journal article? What was the name of the article? What was the name of the journal? Who were the publishers? Where can it be found? Very important. So a lot of our work now comes from online sources. So you put in the URL. Where can you find this? And I'm using written works, but we sometimes and can use videos. So for example, the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago has a very nice, a wonderful video series on parliamentarians of the past. And I was investigating labor, and I found a really good video about the labor leader, Tubal Uriah Buzz Butler. He was called Buzz Butler. He was a labor leader from Grenada, came to Trinidad, and really set the stage for the labor movement, and did a lot to set the stage for the labor movement of Trinidad and Tobago. So in addition to reading articles and papers about him, I was able to go to that video, which is on YouTube, but it's published by the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago. Very important. So you can't just grab any old video on YouTube, but I take it that the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago is a good source that I can cite. They would have done rigorous work to make sure this is accurate, and I could identify this is where these ideas came from, as an example. There are